before we get into it, I want to take a look at something that made my jaw drop, and that's saying something. Okay, so the brain trust over at the morning show, at Apple TV's morning show, has realized that there is a phenomenon known as podcasting. And for this season, they have introduced a bro podcaster who seems like their idea of a mashup between Joe Rogan and Dave Portnoy. And that's not supposed to be a compliment. Now, the bro podcaster has a crush on the Jennifer Aniston character because Jennifer Aniston is the star. And just like our favorite sprightly 900-year-old heroine, Sarah Jessica Parker, all men fall at her feet. So we're going to get to Jennifer in a bit, but let's take a look at this clip. This is good. We're going to get into our clips from the morning show. This is from episode 2, Jen finding herself in the elevator with podcast bro. Here we go.
It's like the first act of a romantic comedy.
Or a slasher film.
You know, the way you pretend you don't want me is actually part of the rom-com trope.
Do you know what? I'm actually not that good of an actress.
Invitation's still open.
Truer words.
Show, capitalize on our simmering chemistry.
Oh my God, that's such a hard pass. I report actual news.
Yeah, I'm a menace to journalism, democracy, and what's left of the American way.
You said it.
That's what the writers think.
I'm embarrassed to share the planet with you, let alone a streaming service.
You know it's sweet when you neg me.
You know what, bro? Your clown show is really good for our network, but our streams will never cross.
Okay, Tim. Now, as a writer, I just want to say I think this is terrible writing. I'm embarrassed to share the planet with you. What are you, 4? Tell me what you think of that little clip that we just saw and the premise thus far of the podcast bro entering the chat.
Well, a few things. I think it's just funny that when you have a right-wing commentator on the show, of course his name has to be bro. Of course, like, he has to be like a bro, and like it's just the corniest podcast you've ever seen. It's painful to watch and listen to him talk on that podcast. But I'm like, of course, if he's gonna be right-wing, he has to be bro, and he's gonna be like everything that the show hates. But and Jennifer Aniston saying that she's not into rom-coms, which is really funny because she spent all the 2000s in rom-coms. So I thought that was a little bit of
point.
Ironic, a little bit ironic writing there, but I don't know. I wanted to love this show, Maureen. I really did, especially season 1. I really did, because I love a behind the scenes, like a fake behind the scenes moment on a TV show.
Yes.
Like what's going, especially, oh my God, my favorite is the makeup chair. If you watch anyone getting makeup done on a TV show, the brush has nothing on it, and they'll like use the same brush to like do the blush, and then you'll see them like doing something on the neck, and you're like, what are they doing? If you actually,
right.
I'm like, everyone should just watch someone getting their makeup done on a TV show like this one, and like the makeup artist is never doing anything, and like has this little sack of nothing with like a brush, and like it's just funny for as a makeup artist to see that.
Do you think that's what like writers or actors like really, is that they're like neg to a makeup artist? Like, because makeup artists are among the most important members of any crew.
Well, no. So Jennifer Aniston was actually in the movie, the murder. What is that murder one? It was like the funny Adam Sandler murder mystery one. Yeah, I think it was called Murder Mystery. And she plays a hairdresser in that movie. And it's funny because I watched it with a hairstylist friend of mine, and she's not wearing gloves. She's like coloring someone's hair. It's like, my friend was like, what is she doing? Like, is there not a hairdresser on set? Is there not a makeup artist on set to teach these extras, like, or to teach Jennifer Aniston, whoever that's playing these roles? Like, this is how you apply makeup. Like, this is how you pretend to do hair. It's just funny as someone in the industry to see that.
Those are great points. And by the way, not for nothing, but someone like Jennifer Aniston has spent the bulk of her adult life in chairs getting her hair and makeup professionally done. And you would think she would bring some of that serious acting technique to the role and say, wait a minute, we need a true makeup kit here with, okay. Anyway, so we're going to go back to the podcast, bro. Now, this is more ridiculousness. She winds up in this episode needing a favor, like very badly, and she needs to get her message across, and she's going to the podcast bro to ask him if he will please have her on his show so she can salvage her reputation and her grossly overpaid job. Now, Jennifer Aniston is the star of the show, and as such, she has a lot of say, just my opinion, but this is usually how it goes, into the way in which her character is depicted and the words that come out of her mouth. So I think that Jennifer Aniston, much like Sarah Jessica Parker, in actuality talks to people like this and thinks that this is appropriate ways in which not only to engage with a coworker, but to ask one for a badly needed favor. Let's go.
Are you eye fucking me?
I was just thinking.
Easy. Don't hurt yourself. Oh, what's wrong?
I think you're right. I think it's time that I come on your show.
What's with the 180? Super sus.
I want to talk about deepfakes.
Do not Google Alex Levy deepfakes. It's Pandora's box. If Pandora was in a bukkake and flip plane.
Oh, God, you're human trash.
Oh, you called me human.
It's debatable.
Why are you here?
Well, you have a huge platform, and...
I thought I was a conspiracy monger, a blight on the Fourth Estate.
Oh, yeah, you are. But you also have, zero editorial oversight.
What's the angle? Something's got you all turned around.
Never mind.
Okay. Tim, please get into this dialogue with me. This terrible, awful, she calls him human trash.
I just think that her character is borderline insufferable on the show, in almost every scene, because, she wants to play this like in control, this like confident, almost like, and you can have a character that's kind of like a bitchy type character that you root for, like kind of like Constance Zimmer in that show, The Unreal.
Yes, Constance Zimmer in Unreal, a performance for the ages.
But amazing. And like she had cracks that she didn't want to show, but then by the time like she fell apart at the like season 4, like you fell for her, like you felt so bad even though she was this monster. Alex is just like, she puts herself into situations and then she wants to back out of it, and Jennifer Aniston does that thing that she loves to do, that's that like that nervous stutter that she does, and like tries to back out of every situation, like oh no. It's like you did it to yourself though in every episode, Alex. Like you make a decision that gets you in hot water, and then, or like you offend somebody or you do something, make some decision, and then you like we have to listen to her whine about it for the rest of the show. So even that whole like little scene, I was like, what was accomplished there? She came to ask for something and then she was too good, like too much better than him. She like was holier than thou and had to storm out of the room. I just like, I don't like the superiority that her character has and doesn't feel earned.
I agree with you completely. Great catch on her acting tics, which have been going on since the days of Friends. And if Jennifer would like to spend her money wisely, she should hire an acting coach who will smack those right out of her, those acting tics. But I also think that scene exists, as you were saying earlier, for them to get on their soapboxes about how superior left-leaning media is to anyone who dissents from their orthodoxy. So I think that and putting those words in the heroine's mouth, like you're human trash and, your threat to the Fourth Estate and democracy itself. It's subtle. Okay, now we are going into, this is one of my favorite, by which I mean like most maddening scenes, and we're going to break it into 2 chunks. Now, the interim news director, Mia, who is a Black woman, is being interviewed for the promotion that she has been ostensibly promised, which is, yes, we've anointed you interim, but that's just a formality. And once the deck is clear, we're going to formally give you the job. And so she wants to be head of programming. And she has to go up to the boardroom and pitch herself to the CEO and the editor-in-chief of news, Stella. We'll get to her in a probably a later show. Anyway, she has to pitch herself and say why she is the one, as linear news, traditional news is disintegrating, why she is the one to save it and to infuse it with new life. Let's go.
People need to feel that UBN is going to have it first and they're going to have it right. And that's across all platforms, TMS, evening news, international, and digital.
Do you think our news is entertaining?
So the answer that Mia gave, which is, I think what we need to do is break news across all platforms. Now, Tim, did you read this scene literally, or did you read it as the writers implying to the viewers that Mia isn't really good at her job?
I think, it's actually funny you say that because she really didn't offer anything. All she really did just say just then was, we have to have the news first and we have to have correct news.
Which is being in the news business. You want to break the story, have the exclusive, and get it out correctly.
Yeah, and so I can see why Marianne Cotillard I know, I just love her name though, Marianne Cotillard. She's just staring at her blankly, like, what is that supposed to do for anything? And I'm glad that you mentioned Stella. Not to change the subject, I just think that the Stella storyline with Marianne and the husband, that cheating scandal, that's like the only interesting part of this whole entire show. I feel like that's the only part that I find like scandalous and worthwhile. We're not talking about that though. It's okay, but
no, we will get to it. We will get to it for sure.
But I don't think. Yeah, she didn't really do anything, but the show makes her look like such a hardworking, like, and the way that everyone talks about her on the show is like, she's got it all together. We can't do it without Mia. And then she sits there and she just says, we have to have the news and we have to have it first. And yeah, it's just funny. I didn't even look at the scene that way.
That's where the writing of this show and even the acting really confuses me because when you're saying like all the other characters are like, yeah, Mia really works hard. There are like grinders who they work hard and they can get stuff done, but they don't necessarily have original minds. They're not visionaries. They're not going to bring network news into the future. And I feel like in this scene, that's kind of what they're telling us, even though the actress playing Mia doesn't seem to get it. Now, let's look at the second part of this, where after Marianne Cotillard, as you
Cotillard,
after she, by the way, her Edith Piaf is to die. If you haven't seen her performance as Edith, here she is trying to once again. The Marianne Cotillard says, "Come on, I'm giving you another chance. Give me something I can work with here." And this is what Mia has to say.
I don't think it is. We bend over backwards not to offend, and it makes our audience reach for their phones. I think the news is an incredible tool, but we need more circuses and a little less bread, content that grabs anyone on earth with a screen. I'm asking you to think in global terms, Mia. Be bold, be incendiary. Tell me something I haven't heard. My point is, I appreciate your commitment to this company, but I'm not sure I see a greater vision here.
Mia's looking at her like she's a racist.
I'm interested in breaking the kind of stories that drive national conversation. That's the core mission of the news. And I think if we do that right, the audience will follow.
A nice idea. But it's not succeeding.
I'm sorry, the Marianne Cotillard character is talking the language that every CEO of a news network is talking right now. And the Mia character, she says, give me something incendiary, give me something new that I haven't heard before. And she's like, and then when on the back end of that, she says, I think we just need to break news that drives the national conversation. Honey, news does drive the national conversation. That's how it works. It's baked in to the definition of news. Tim, please help me.
That was painful to watch again. It's just so funny because, I watched the whole 4 episodes kind of at once. So just to go back to these little moments and just see, I'm like, oh my God, why did the writers write her like that? Like, do they want her to look stupid? Like, where she just sits there and it's so true. Like, Marianne Cotillard didn't do anything wrong in her, like, tell me what you're going to do. If I give you this huge position at this network, what are you going to do for me, Mia? And like, Mia is just saying things that like news is done forever. And it's kind of again the definition of what news does. So if you're not going to bring anything new to the table, then I'm going to have to go with someone else. It's just kind of how business works. I don't understand, like, what was the angle there? Was like, are we supposed to feel bad for Mia? Exactly like you're saying. Are we supposed to?
Right. And also, can we talk about the costuming in that scene for a moment? Because this is what I'm digging. Marianne Cotillard, the French CEO, is in a silk olive green bomber jacket that probably retails for $2,500. Sitting next to her is Stella, head of news entire, who is outfitted in what looks like Japanese design, like very architecturally modern cut. Now, way at the end of the table, balling for this job, this big job, is Mia, and she's dressed in like a pink blazer with like pink eyewear. Like, talk to me about what that's communicating to us, Tim.
Yes, the very soft matching outfit. It was like a skirt down to the ankle. She walked in very demure when she was walking to work that day. It's giving soft. It's giving kind of like Easter brunch. Like that's it was like a yogurt pale
Yes.
pink eyeshadow, the matte pink eyeshadow that matched the outfit. I noticed that as well. And I don't know, yeah, bring a little edge. Like these women that you're talking to clearly have dark lipstick on. They have like they just look like they kind of look mean a little bit. And maybe that's what they want. Like you walking in like Little Miss Sunshine and like sweet and quiet and like bring your, I mean, come on, where's the boss lady that you are when you're yelling at Alex behind the scenes or when you're yelling at Bradley behind the scenes? Like they want to see that. And
Yes. Yes, I agree with you completely. The Marion and the Stella, Greta Lee character, Stella, they are made to look like through wardrobe and hair and makeup, modern, edgy, provocative, don't F with me characters, okay? And you want to be head of news, you better come in there ready to play. And and as you said, they dressed her for Easter brunch, and they like is the pink, the eyeshadow. Do you think that's too matchy? And can you tell us when the pink and mauve eyeshadow trend is going to go away because everybody looks like they have pink eye or are consumptive?
I think maybe Charlotte Tilbury's brand is a lot to do with that because I feel like she came out with like that was like her whole brand for a while was like pinks and oranges and pinky mauve. And I love Charlotte Tilbury. I love her brand.
Same.
But I noticed that like a lot of her eyeshadows, like, or at least they were for a while, or the pinks and everything. I just think it's too soft. And especially in that environment, like you're in news, like I'm, especially corporate news with such a big position. I wonder if they gave her that look because she doesn't even dress like that normally. That's not how Mia's character dresses.
That's true.
Like normally. So I'm like, I wonder, do they want her to appear meek and weak in that interview? Because the outfit definitely did portray that. She looked way too sweet and like conservative. Like she didn't look like her normal character in that.
Oh, you know what, Tim, as you're speaking now, I think maybe I understand what they're up to. Again, it's like you need to assemble a team at Quantico to figure out what they're up to over at the morning show. It's a huge mystery. I think perhaps Mia was meant to look like the good girl who plays by the rules, does everything right, and that's what this gets her, nothing. And the other two at the end of this boardroom are meant to look like the mean witches who will throw their own grandmother under the bus for money and power.
The villains, 100%.
Yeah.
And Marion Cotillard, love her so much, but she does kind of play this like mustache twirling villain in the show a little bit. Like she seems a little bit like that in like the first like 3 episodes. We're kind of like, okay, like alarm bells going off. She's like villain. Like everything that she says is so like mysterious. But then I felt bad for her when they find out that when she found out her husband's cheating on her with Stella.
Again, like this strains credulity to me because as I've had this, there are two kinds of stories that get broken in newsrooms. One is the actual news, whatever's going on any given day. And then when all of that's put to bed, it's reporters reporting on other reporters in the newsroom. You have never met, like, we have a lot of men who write into the Nerve and they're like, hey, Maureen, like, don't tell anyone, but like, I'm a super straight heterosexual male with a real blue collar job and I love the Nerve. And I'm like, hey, I've met you a million times. You're in newsrooms across America. It's the truth. True. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Now we have to move on to the Billy Crudup character. Now, to my mind, Billy Crudup is the best actor on the show. He is acting in a different show. He is elevating this material and he is putting top spins on these balls that nobody can see coming. And his scene partners just aren't up to par. I'm sorry. I don't know why the writers have done this, but they are now developing a romance between Billy Crudup's Corey and Reese Witherspoon's character, Bradley, who at the end of the last season, I don't even know how many seasons in we are. Anyway, Corey professed his love to the Reese character and Reese said, no, please don't say this. I don't want to hear it. I don't feel the same way. Suddenly now Reese has changed her mind. Trust me, women never change their minds about this kind of thing. Okay. So we're going to watch this most awkward love scene and you tell me, and by the way, if you're listening, go watch this part on the YouTube channel because these two actors are doing everything to delay the kiss. You can tell they do not want to kiss each other. Let's go.
If you wanted me to, keep my distance.
Keep your distance.
I could do that.
I'll let you know.
I'd never have to.
They're moving closer together.
Yeah.
And you would
This is 40s, 30s screwball dialogue for the ages. They still haven't kissed. They still haven't kissed.
Ooh.
Reese is going in, and they really look, now they're kissing, and they really look like they are just, seriously, actually, Billy Crudup puts his arm up over her face so they can maybe cheat it and get out of it. I mean, Tim, please help me again.
I even wrote in my notes, like, when they kiss, I put ew. I just put ew. It just reminds me of like her uncle or something. Like they're both such good parts of the show, but it's such a 180 from everything else. Like, especially, I don't like when a character is a lesbian for a season and then
we forgot completely about Juliana Margulies, who she was with for an entire season or a season and a half.
This show loves to forget about people. Like, do you forget that Alex Levy has a daughter amongst all this drama? Like,
yes, I did.
She has a daughter.
Yes, I did.
She forgot. It seems like she forgot half the time. But yeah, so she was a lesbian, and then now she's just seeing her get with Corey, and it's like the show is like forcing all this sexual tension that just is out of nowhere, and it's just seeing the two of them, like they're both pretty sterile characters. Like, I don't know, Corey's just like this, like he's like this uncle type, this like kind of, I don't know, goofy guy, nerdy guy, and so then just see them like do this like slow like will they, won't they moment, like, that freaks me out. My skin was crawling. And then later when she's getting her microphone put on and he's like up her skirt and all this stuff, I'm like, ew, why? Now they're doing it at work and they're like, after everything of season one, I'm like, what's going on here? Why is the show?
Right, season one, which was all about Me Too.
Yes, and it's just, that's the thing about the show is there's 800 plot lines that they're trying to cram in to this one thing. That's why it's so hard to follow. I had to like rewind a few times because I'm like, wait, what's going on now? Like, they're in love now? Okay.
100%. This is one of the worst. Again, like, I can't believe this is considered prestige TV. Like, I can't believe Apple, like, we're all hate watching it. It's the same ththing with And Just Like That. You're getting eyeballs because we all are hating on it. And then we're going to go to the opening of episode 4 before we get into Jennifer in the real world. And once again, may I just say it, I'm dying. You guys are all trying to help me to get into season 3 of The Newsreader over here in the States. And it is yeoman's work. I miss The Newsreader so much. We are going to take a look at the opening of episode 4. This is the meteorologist, the male meteorologist Yanko, and he is doing a dry run, a rehearsal of his marriage proposal, incipient marriage proposal to a coworker. So here we go. We're going to take a look at it. I have to talk over this because there's a music licensing issue. And so, first of all, this guy does not present as heterosexual. Number 2, we are dancing to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. And Rick rolling morning show writers was a phenomenon that I believe happened 10 to 15 years ago. Tim, have you ever seen anything like this in all of your time on these sets and in these newsrooms?
I feel like maybe this is something like, well, no, not that choreographed. Absolutely not. But like, I was like, I can see maybe silly games like that on the Today Show, like between like Jenna and like, sometimes they play silly games, but not choreographed musical numbers. That looks like it took time. And then they don't even end up doing it on the show. I think it's funny because his character is like a stiff and we don't really like care about his character that much on the show.
We have no investment in him whatsoever.
None whatsoever. I mean, like, I don't even really care that he's getting engaged or that he's supposed to. But,
I don't even know who he's getting engaged to. I don't know this person.
Out of nowhere. And then it makes you think, like, are we supposed to know? Like, do we know this woman?
Exactly. Is it my fault? Don't blame the victim, Tim. Don't.
Yeah, victim blaming the whole audience. But
I mean you and I as well.
Yeah, that's true. We're
very smart people and we consume a lot of culture and we're having trouble keeping the threads of these stories together. I also love, and we'll get to this, we're going to get to this the next time we recap, Jeremy Irons playing Jennifer Aniston's father. I mean, who is the casting director over there?
Well, they don't know what to do with Alex's character. Like, first she's like with the Iranian girl, then she's talking about AI, and then now it's about her dad. I'm like, they can't settle on a plot line for her. Like, she's
and
just
don't forget John Hamm coming back too.
Oh, and John for one episode, just so that she could like weaken her character even more by like confessing that she's just jealous. Okay. But, a tale as old as time. He, of course, is like the greatest person ever now that they're not together. And he's just a good guy. And she just has to be okay with that, whatever, of course.
He's got a new, like, Amal Clooney, like, girlfriend.
Yeah, who's like the sweetest person ever and gorgeous. But yeah, no, with the other guy, with the meteorologist, I just thought it was funny because we don't really care about him. So just seeing this, we have to go through a whole 2 minutes or however long the song is, and we're just the whole time we're just like, okay, is this a joke? Because we don't care about him. So like,
and why are they spending so much time on this musical number? As the season changes to colder weather, it turns out that your blood pressure tends to spike due to the narrowing of blood vessels. And that makes a lot of sense. Also, your salt cravings go up, and then you've got, less by nature physical activity. But here is the good news. You do have the power to take control of all of that with 120 Life. 120 Life is a blend of great tasting superfruit juices that can actually help lower your blood pressure naturally. It is trusted by over 1,000 health professionals and used by people just like you who have seen real measurable results. You can try it yourself risk-free with their 2-week trial. Just go to 120life.com and use code NERVE. That's NERV to save 15% off. You can track your progress with a simple blood pressure monitor, watch your numbers drop, and feel the difference. Plus, it's completely risk-free. If you don't see lower numbers in 2 weeks, you get your money back. So you have nothing to lose except high blood pressure. So go to 120life.com. That is 120life.com. And remember to use code NERVE to save 15%. This is serious. This is your life we're talking about, and 120 Life can help. So don't wait. Take control of your health today.